Southwest Side restaurant.
So when we stopped by this week to get answers, a live roach actually crawled right in front of our cameras. Ardaneli Barra caught up with the owner, who then invited us behind the kitchen door.
In an empty dining room, this guy was the only one looking for food. We saw this roach at Spice Fine Indian Cuisine this week. Last month, a Metro Health inspector saw several of them, forcing the restaurant to shut down.
The floor is a little sticky.
And that's not the only thing we noticed. Near the back, we saw gnats flying around smelly, stagnant mop water and the roach.
And I will say, this is not the first time KSAT and Behind the Kitchen Door has come to this restaurant.
2020
5 years ago, we reported that the restaurant racked up several violations, including having fly sticky traps in the kitchen and using damaged food containers. And in 2022, Metro Health temporarily shut it down for a lack of hot water.
Because this inspection was done October 1st, and this is the inspection that says the facility was ordered to remain closed by the health department because there was a roach infestation.
Yeah, that's what, they seen a couple of live roaches. They closed it, but you can go through through whole kitchen and everything. You can see me one live roaches or dead roaches. You ask me a question.
We saw a roach in the dining room about 10 minutes ago.
I don't see that.
We showed him the footage.
I mean, would you feel comfortable eating in a restaurant that had roaches near?
No, absolutely. That is the reason I closed for 1 month.
Metro Health confirmed the restaurant was allowed to reopen 2 days after their inspection.
What are you doing to prevent this restaurant from appearing on Behind the Kitchen Door again?
Again, we have to make it make sure every day before leaving, we have to clean everything, making every month pest control properly.
The owner showed us proof that pest control has stopped by a few times, including this week.
I would make sure pest control sprays the rest of your restaurant too, because like I said, we saw that roach back there. Hopefully this is the last time we have to come here.
That's what's Behind the Kitchen Door. I'm Daniela Ibarra.
To highlight that work that District 5 and the coaches here produced champions in our community, and it tells the story of how residents of District 5 continue to fight for justice, continue to fight for sport, and they are exemplary when they do it as well.
Castillo has been fighting for D5 since 2021 and recently began her final 4-year term as councilwoman. So far, she has led over $90 million worth of infrastructure investment in her community and touts investments in local parks as a way to improve overall public safety.
We're keeping our kids.
From KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
An ATM robbery where 4 suspects were arrested. We're going to break down all the details that you need to know as you get set for your Friday morning as San Antonio police recovered $30,000 in cash.
Plus, who police have behind bars and who they're still looking for following a violent Halloween weekend in San Marcos.
It's emotional and amazing.
And a heartfelt reaction this morning from a Southside family after their voice was heard with safety improvements they're looking at this Friday morning. And speaking of that, we have made it to Friday. Good morning to everyone. Yes, hopefully you guys are set for a great weekend. I'm RJ Marquez.
I'm Sarah Acosta. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Justin, it does not feel like we are November 14th.
Not even close. And this stretch that we're going to have here going forward, it's just not going to feel like November at all until I think we get into next week, and that's when things start to change a little bit. At least that's what we're hoping for right now. So let's get into the headlines here. Hot and humid, morning clouds this weekend, and really you can apply that to today and early next week as well. Next rain chance, next system is going to be, we think, Wednesday evening through Friday morning. That's kind of the time frame that it looks like right now. That is subject to change. Rainfall, the odds look good too for now, but we dealt with this earlier this week with this cutoff low that came through and it just didn't materialize. We got to kind of wait and see with this one because it's a similar setup. As we go outside for you, we've got the morning low clouds. We don't have any fog. yet. I think we still could see a little bit, but like yesterday, it should be patchy in nature and shouldn't cause a whole lot of issues. We will start off cloudy, though. 66 degrees at the airport, 63 New Braunfels, 66 in Converse. In low 60s, Bernie and Stinson, no jacket needed this morning, and you certainly don't need it this afternoon. 68 at 9 o'clock, 77 at 11 a.m. and high temperatures today will be up around 85 degrees with, again, more heat headed our way. We're going to break down that rain chance next week coming up in just a couple minutes. But now over to your traffic authority, RJ Marquez.
All right, thank you very much for that, Justin. Let's get you out safe on the roads this morning as we take a look here on the far northeast side of town. We're taking a look at 35 at Widner Road. We see some delays due to some construction activity. There's also reports of some construction over by Walsham and 35, but for the most part, everything south of 410, 35, that interchange is good to go. We, of course, will continue to track the latest if there's any fog in our area, but the rest of the city of San Antonio is looking pretty good on this Friday morning, and we will also let you know about some construction closures that you need to know about as we get set for 2 new flyovers that will be opening on the far northwest side of town.
Well, 4 men are behind bars this morning following an attempted robbery last night.
That's right, Sarah. San Antonio police say that they recovered $30,000, and our Patty Santos is live this morning with a breakdown of what went down. Patty, good morning.
Hey there, good morning. So listen to this. It was a witness who actually helped police by calling them as that ATM robbery was happening. And that gave police a head start, making sure that those suspects are right here behind me in this jail. 4 men, as we said, are behind bars after they attempted to steal $30,000 from an ATM service crew. And San Antonio police say they are Jack Bledsoe, Amari Wolford, Quentin Graham, and Lavontre Simmons. They tried to rob the workers while they were servicing that machine.
The officers followed them from the original location where the robbery was happening. And so they followed them to a residence, and the officers asked them to come outside, and they came out without any incidents.
And that happened during broad daylight around 11:30 in the morning. Now, no one was hurt, and the men now face federal charges and possibly robbery and criminal activity. And according to our records, there have been at least 5 other ATM-related robberies that we have reported on in September and August. Reporting live this morning, I'm Patty Santos. We'll send it back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Patty. While one person is in custody and others are still wanted after 2 shootings, San Marcos over the weekend up I-35. The violence left 1 person dead and 3 others injured. And let's kind of talk about this. Police say that the first shooting happened downtown near Kissing Alley when 2 groups passed each other and an argument erupted. Patrick Dave Anderson, who recently moved to San Marcos from Arizona, is wanted for firing multiple shots, killing 19-year-old Ronnie Hernandez Jr. and injuring 2 others. The second shooting occurred early November 2nd at the Outpost Apartments, where a fight turned deadly near the pool at the apartment complex. John Anthony Chucky Contreras is wanted for attempted capital murder, while DeAndre Houston was arrested last week for aggravated assault. Police are urging anyone with information on Anderson or Contreras to call the San Marcos, Police or Crime Stoppers units.
Well, 1 person is dead after a motorcycle crashed into an 18-wheeler. This happened on the northwest side about 8 hours ago on I-10, right across from Huebner Oak Shopping Center. Let's take a look. So when fire officials arrived to the scene, the driver of the motorcycle was found dead. All the main lanes of the highway were shut down last night in the westbound lanes.
And this morning, a man is in jail after allegedly shooting and killing his brother.
Yeah, this happened in Converse just a few months ago in July. A witness told San Antonio police they heard gunshots coming from the backyard of a house. When officers arrived, they found a shattered glass door and a man dead from multiple gunshot wounds.
A 36-year-old Darren Roger Jr. was ultimately arrested after an investigation found that his phone was connected to his brother's Wi-Fi at the time of the incident. Investigators also found the receipt for the gun that was used, bought 2 days before that shooting. Roger's bond is currently $250,000, and he is facing 1 count of murder.
Well, after months of pushing for progress, today we're seeing proof that one Southside's family's voice was heard. So back in August, we first told you about how 2 people, including a pregnant woman, were hit and killed within days of each other on the same street. We're talking about Southeast Military Drive between Old Corpus Christi Road and South Presa Street. So KSAT has stayed on this story from the very start. We got a closer look at a new safety improvement the city has now completed to address these growing concerns: bigger lights, a working crosswalk, and relocated via bus stop are all upgrades. One of the victims' family says this change has made a world of difference to them.
It's emotional and amazing. I'm really thrilled that, after almost 3 months since my sister passed, that we finally got better safety measurements out here for pedestrians.
So we spoke to the District 3 councilman about these upgrades. She says 3 months to get improvements like this in our city is fast. She says the families speaking out in KSAT's repeated coverage are part of this reason why. The city says other neighborhoods with similar problems can get change like this by first calling 311.
And this morning, we're hearing from 2 of the 3 former SAPD officers who were cleared on Monday in the 2023 shooting death of Melissa Perez. Alfred Flores and Nathaniel Villalobos said that they are relieved that this is behind them and they are ready to get back to normal and move on with their lives. Flores was facing a murder charge and Villalobos was facing a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, again for the shooting of Perez back in 2023. On Monday, it took a jury just about 15 minutes to come back with a not guilty verdict for all 3 men. So what is next for them? They're not ruling out a return to the police department.
I would love nothing more than to serve my community again. And that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be with SAPD. It could be with whoever, or it could just be my every day-to-day life.
Absolutely. I worked hard to get as a role as a supervisor, so I am looking forward to getting back.
Well, earlier this week, defense attorneys for the men also told us that they may pursue some other legal action regarding what they described as malicious prosecution of those 3 individuals.
Now to new comments from Congressman Tony Gonzalez regarding the death of his staffer Regina Santos Aviles.
So earlier this week, KSAT 12, KSAT Investigates, Daniela Ibarra tried to talk to the congressman about her death and reports that he and Santos Aviles were having an alleged affair. Now, during an appearance, this all happened at the Texas Tribune Festival in Austin. Gonzalez spoke about her death.
In politics, you better have thick skin, and my name's on the door, and so I'm not like people throwing rocks at me, saying ugly, nasty things. I totally get that, but the rumors are completely untruthful.
So Gonzalez went on to say that he didn't know exactly what happened. The Bexar County medical examiners ruled Santos Aviles' death a suicide by setting herself on fire.
Okay, let's look at some of your morning headlines. Well, this morning, some federal services getting back to normal after the shutdown, but others are still facing some delays. The agricultural secretary says that SNAP benefits should be out by Monday, and some federal workers may get back pay starting today. Other agencies warning that it could take a week to pay their staff. Now, the Smithsonian is opening its museum and zoo gradually, with the National Gallery fully open by tomorrow. National parks are dealing with litter and graffiti from limited staff, and the FAA is still restricting some flights. Okay, plus Secretary of State Marco Rubio has officially listed 4 European Antifa groups as terrorist organizations. These groups are based in Germany, Italy, and also Greece. Now, these designations take effect next week. They're in the same category as ISIS-K and Al-Shabaab, meaning that Americans can't legally support them. This move follows President Donald Trump's push to target Antifa, which he labeled a domestic terrorist organization back in September. He also ordered federal agencies to take action against the group. And finally, millions of AT&T customers may get money from a $177 million settlement. This follows 2 data breaches last year that exposed personal information for over 70 million people. The first breach leaked addresses, social security numbers, and passcodes, while the second exposed call and text records. Affected customers could receive up to $7,500. AT&T doesn't dispute the breaches but denies the wrongdoing. The deadline to file a claim is December 18th.
Let's go outside with live cam. It is 5:11, 66 degrees, warm, humid, and cloudy. We've got more playoff high school football games tonight. Sotomayor takes on Brandeis at Ferris Stadium. Another hot night, or a warm night, I should say, for football. 78 at kickoff. Good luck to both teams.
I have a trophy husband. And
All right, she's married to the former mayor and may soon be in the public spotlight again. From the onion fields of South San Of South Texas to San Antonio City Hall, Ernie Zuniga's candid conversation with Erica Prosper Nierenberg this week on Pickup Lines.
And the government shutdown is over, but questions remain, especially about your health care costs. We're going to let you know about tax credits, whether they will stay or go. We're going to break it all down and what this means for your wallet coming up.
Well, President Donald Trump signed legislation ending the longest government shutdown in U.S. history on Wednesday. The bill brings federal workers back to their jobs after the 43-day shutdown. Just how quickly, though, full government services and operations will resume is still unclear, and many questions remain on what this will mean for the average person, especially when it comes to health care. So our Madeline Lambert explains how this bill could impact your wallet.
Even though the president signed the spending bill last night, Congress remains split on whether to keep the Enhanced Affordable Care Act tax credits. So what does that mean for you?
Imagine your healthcare plan is about $600 per month. Now with the boosted tax credit, you're looking at a $250 payment, but that tax credit goes away, you're back to paying the full $600. That's more than double than what you're already paying. Now many people could see an increase in their monthly bills.
Democrats have been pushing for Congress to extend the credits to keep those increases from happening, but Republicans have not been on board.
I'm not going to guarantee a vote on ACA unreformed COVID-era subsidies that is just a boondoggle to insurance companies and robs the taxpayer. We got a lot of work to do on that.
It's a betrayal of working people who are seeing their health insurance premiums rise double and triple.
The Congressional Budget Office estimates more than 2 million people could lose their coverage next year if the credits expire. A vote is expected by mid-December, but there's no guarantee a deal will pass.
Well, while many are facing uncertainty, Baptist Health System is now providing free counseling to anyone who needs help filing paperwork with their insurance. You can find more information on our web story.
All right, this week on Pickup Lines, we have a candid conversation with her right there, the former San Antonio First Lady, Erica Prosper Nierenberg. Her husband, Ron Nierenberg, set to make a big announcement tomorrow, which reportedly involves a run next year for Bexar County judge. While Erica, though, is a force in her own right. She's a wife, mother, owner of 4 college degrees and a senior level job at HEB. So she was born in Weslaco down in the valley, and by the age of 5, she was a farm worker, walking the fields and helping to pick up crops with her extended family members.
I was in charge of bringing the tijeras,
scissors,
up and down to people who needed them, or water when I was little. And then as I got older and I was able to actually hold scissors or a hoe, I was then put to actual work.
Onions, I know you picked, or you grab onions and then you tap them, you knock the soil off.
Yeah, she has a great story. In this episode of Pickup Lines, Erica Prosper Nierenberg also opens up about never meeting her biological father, being adopted out of foster care, and what impressed her most about Mr. Ron Nierenberg when they first started dating. The latest episode of Pickup Lines premieres at 5:30 and replays again later on 7:30 this evening on the free KSAT Plus app. You can also watch it right now, KSAT.com. All you got to do is search Pickup Lines. All right, yes, Erica Prosper does some amazing things for the city of San Antonio, and of course, we will cover that announcement with the former mayor tomorrow as that continues to be a developing story there. Real quick here, check of the northeast side of town where we're seeing that traffic is slowed down in this one specific spot, so it's actually not too bad. 35 Wiener Road, this is going to be the only spot where we're seeing some construction on the northeast side of town, but here we go. We do have some construction to let you know about taking place later tonight, Friday to Monday, 5 a.m. Basically, they're going to be alternating closures here, but the biggest thing you're going to need to know is that we're going to have closures on the I-10 East main lanes, but that's because we're getting some new flyovers that we're opening Monday at 5 a.m. So that flyover is going to take us from I-10 East, if you're coming in from the Dominion, La Cantera, Bernie area, and that's going to go over to 1604 in both directions. So we will continue to update you on everything that you need to know, not only about this closure, but what we got going on the northwest side of town taking place Monday morning. Justin, here we go, man. We got some weekend things going on. Football, Worst Fest. A lot of fun taking place.
Yes, it's going to be a great weekend and a good weekend to be outside as long as you can deal with some warmer temperatures. It is going to be warm, but no rain in the picture. And, we need it. Drought monitor came in yesterday and it shows that we are still very much stuck in a drought. How long have we talked about this now? It feels like for years. But, we have to update it. And it shows that we're in extreme drought here in San Antonio, Howitzville, LaGrange. This area here across our eastern counties continues to grow too. So we know that our area is in desperate need for some rain. Rain chances do show up next week. Right now, I've got Thursday as kind of the day with a 40% chance of rain. Now, we'll tell you this. It's subject to change, and here's why. You remember this low? We talked about it earlier this week, and it looked promising for us, and then it just changed course pretty much, and now it's moving well to our north and not bringing us any rain. Well, we're going to see a similar setup as we get into next week, but the models want to bring this a little bit further south, a little bit closer to Texas. We'll see if that is the way it plays out, but as of right now, the best odds are Wednesday night into Friday morning. Storms will be possible with this system, but do know that is subject to change. We got to get a little bit closer than just being perfectly honest with you. But that's the latest thinking, and hopefully that does bring about some changes because, yes, it is warm and it is humid. 66 right now, 63 in New Braunfels. Humidity levels are high. That means we could see a little bit of fog again this morning. So far, so good. But Pleasanton, Beeville, LaGrange areas reporting a little bit of fog this morning. If that moves into San Antonio, you'll be the first to know. We're going to call for a little bit of patchy fog to start, and then by noontime, we'll be up around 80, and our high temperature today, 85. That is running well above average, and this weekend, same story. 85 both days, morning clouds, humid in the afternoon, but no rain, as we said. Extended forecast. We'll go 86 Monday, 86 Tuesday, and yes, we start to bring those rain chances in by late next week, but that forecast you see there is just not November-like by any stretch of the imagination. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning is actually prompted by a story that I got running a little bit later this morning because we're talking about wild pigs. They're very smart, but what is the smartest animal? Which of the following animals is generally considered the most intelligent? Is it parrots, elephants, dolphins, or great apes? Go to ksat.com/polls, scan the QR code, and I'll tell you this, all four of those, very smart.
Yeah, this is a good one.
But one of those leads the list.
I'm tied between elephants and dolphins.
I'm with you there. Those are my top two candidates.
Yeah.
What about your doggos? They're pretty smart.
Well, they're human. They're not dogs. Let's get that straight. All right, thank you, Justin.
You got it.
522, 66 degrees.
All right, group chats could soon be coming to ChatGPT, where this feature is already available in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, ChatGPT is trying out group chats. You'll be able to create conversations with friends and family and have the chatbot join in to help make plans or answer questions. It's being tested overseas. No word yet on when it could come to the U.S. Tesla is reportedly testing Apple CarPlay in its EVs. Sources tell Bloomberg the feature could be released in the coming months, but CarPlay is expected to appear in a separate window within the software interface because Tesla has no plans to fully replace its own infotainment system. Finally, the new Vine. The popular 6-second video platform was shut down in 2016. Now, Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey is behind a new app called Divine. Archived material from the original Vine will be available. Notably, AI-generated content is banned. Divine is available for both iOS and Android. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Okay, Vine is back.
It's back.
All right.
Millennials, we're back.
Here we go. Okay, coming up in just a bit, switching gears, a deadly crash on the northeast side has authorities investigating this morning. We're going to tell you what we know about this incident coming up in just a bit.
And ahead on GMSA at 6, feral pigs invading neighborhoods. Find out why they're showing up in your backyard and what can be done to stop them. Good morning. It is 5:30 on your Friday. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah, so a little bit warmer outside to start your Friday morning, and Justin's Just Ask Justin question is just really
We're having
kind
a
of
lot
stifling us right now at this
debate
moment.
right now.
We are.
It's rising controversy. And look, I will tell you this, and if you didn't hear the questions about which animal is most intelligent, there are varying levels of intelligence here based on what you consider to be intelligent. So it is a bit of a controversial question.
You're going to want to stick around to see his choices.
I did do my research, though.
Yeah, you're
always.
Lots of eyes on this morning.
Anyway, yes, we digress. Let's go outside for you. We've got a lot of clouds out there this morning, and this has been, yesterday we had some clouds, now we're just overcast, and this is a good representation of what's going on in the atmosphere. We've got moisture coming in droves now, and that really plays a big role in a fog. We may get a little bit of that, but also just keeping morning temperatures up. So if you're walking outside this morning, you're saying, wait a second, wasn't it in the 30s earlier this week? It was, but the overall pattern and atmosphere have changed in a big way. 66 now. And look, we may fall a degree or two more, but we're not going to fall much lower than this. So it is going to be a mild morning. You can probably get away with shorts and T-shirts and maybe not even a jacket as you head out the door this morning. Dew points are going to be in the mid-60s, and this is just not what you would expect for November. There is a ton of moisture in place, and it's going to stay there through the middle part of next week. So our morning lows are going to stay warm through the foreseeable future, or at least through the middle part of next week. And our forecast today, 68 at 9 a.m., 77 at 11 o'clock, 82 at 1 o'clock, and 85 is going to be your high this afternoon. And you can just basically replicate that for Saturday and Sunday, too. Coming up, we will dig deeper into some of those rain chances. Also, we'll look at some of the football games, what the forecast looks like for that over the weekend. RJ?
All right, thank you very much, Justin. Let's give you an update on the situation on the northeast side of town. As we take a look there, we have some construction over here at 35 southbound at Weidner Road, but it looks like things are starting to clear out for the most part. So that's some good news for all of our folks making their way past Randolph Boulevard over to 410 and 35. Good morning to everyone out there. We are accident-free for the most part across the city of San Antonio, but wanted to give us kind of an expanded view and show you maybe some potential fog visibility issues right here. This is going to be far south side of town. This is going to be over in Pleasanton. As you take a look there, that's our camera at FM 3006. Again, coming off of 37 in the town of Pleasanton. Good morning to all of our folks there. So if you're waking up out there and making your way through Pleasanton, going north to San Antonio, you might run into some of these visibility issues out here. So we'll continue to monitor the very latest when it comes to some of the fog issues that we may see across our area. I know that Justin's also tracking this very closely for us, but otherwise, everything else is looking pretty good across the city of San Antonio.
Well, 4 young men are behind bars this morning, possibly facing federal charges in connection to an ATM robbery that happened yesterday.
That's right. So the men in their late teens and early 20s are in police custody, accused of robbing an ATM worker. Okay, so very interesting story here. Witnesses called police when they saw the 4 suspects. Patty Santos has the very latest with this.
Hey there, good morning. That's right. It was a witness who saw the ATM maintenance worker being held up by 4 suspects. That's when they called police. All of this happening in broad daylight around 11 in the morning. That's how all this started. KSAT was there last night as the 4 men were walked from the detective's office to the jail. We're talking about Jack Bledsoe, 22 years old, Amari Wolford, 18 years old, Quentin Graham, 17 years old, and Lavontre Simmons, 24 years old. They were arrested and are now facing charges of robbery and engaging in criminal activity. Records show they are facing possibly federal charges as well. Police were able to tag them to a home. That is where they were arrested without incident. Police say they recovered $30,000 that were taken from the ATM worker. No one was hurt. This morning, we are looking into their criminal record. Have they done this before? We're going to have that report for you coming up at 6:30 here on GMSA. Reporting live from the Bexar County Jail, I'm Patty Santos.
Patty, thank you. A person died about 12 hours ago after being hit by a train on the northeast side. That's according to the San Antonio Fire Department. So let's take a look. At this time, we don't know much about what happened except that the crash happened around 5:20 yesterday on the tracks near the intersection of Interchange Parkway and Frat Road. This is on the city's northeast side, and this investigation is ongoing.
Plus 3 people, including 2 DPS troopers, were injured in a crash on the north side Thursday evening. This all happened around 5:30 p.m. at Loop 410 and Airport Boulevard. DPS said that the troopers were responding with lights and sirens when their vehicle was hit by a Toyota Camry. Both troopers were checked out at the scene, and the driver of that Camry was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Well, a driver hit and killed a woman sitting on her front porch earlier this week. That woman was 70-year-old Janice Walker. She lived on a curve on DeFost Avenue near MLK Drive and near I-10. So neighbors said that DeFost Avenue is a shortcut between Commerce and I-10. So just days after Walker was killed, their neighborhood association held a meeting to find a solution to speeding in that area.
So we just got speed bumps in for Honey and Gay Street in Sprigsdale. they do have speed bumps, but theirs have been there for a while. But when they put them in, they didn't do defrost street.
It's a shame that a tragedy would have to happen for us to get more involved in looking at doing another traffic study, but we've already filled out the application for another traffic study to do DeFar Street.
Well, SAPD is still looking for the person responsible for her death. The person left the scene before police arrived Tuesday evening. If you have any information about this crash, contact police.
And this morning, we're digging into the infant botulism cases linked to ByHeart's infant formula recall. Earlier this week, the company pulled its products after reports of several babies falling ill. The FDA says at least 15 infants were hospitalized with suspected botulism. This is a dangerous infection that can cause muscle weakness or paralysis. Right now, families are fighting back with lawsuits claiming that the formula was unsafe and that ByHeart didn't do enough to keep those babies safe. Our Stephanie Jimenez spoke with a lawyer that is helping them tell their story.
I think, unfortunately, we're going to see more children getting sick because, the product just got off the market, and the incubation period could be 4 to 6 weeks. But it can cause paralysis of the muscles. It can stop your heart. It can stop breathing. We're just lucky that at this stage we haven't seen any of that.
ByHeart was sold online at Target, Albertsons, and Whole Foods, and maybe some other locations. If you have it, the company says that you should stop giving it to your baby. We emailed the company and asked what else consumers or customers should do. A representative sent a press release that said the company had already shared it with the public. In it, the company apologizes for causing families anxiety and fear. And it goes on to say, quote, if you think your child is experiencing symptoms of infant botulism, please seek medical attention immediately.
Well, in today's headlines, the House is rushing to vote on releasing the Jeffrey Epstein files, pushed by a rare bipartisan petition with 218 signatures. This comes as newly released documents show President Trump's name popping up in Epstein's emails, raising more questions about their ties. While the White House says the emails clear the president, lawmakers want full transparency. Speaker Mike Johnson is set to bring the bill to the floor soon. We will keep you updated. And travel from Canada to the U.S. keeps dropping. New data shows air travel to the U.S. fell nearly 24% last month, and car travel dropped over 30% compared to last year. This is the 10th month in a row of fewer Canadians visiting the U.S. Tensions over tariffs and political rhetoric have some Canadians choosing to spend their money at home. Usually, Canadians make up about a quarter of all foreign visitors to the U.S. Cheetos and Doritos, well, they're going naked. PepsiCo launching new versions of these popular snacks without artificial flavors or dyes. That means they'll have a natural pale yellow color instead of the bright orange that we're used to seeing. The company says the simply naked snacks will taste just like the originals, which will still be available. You'll find them in Doritos, Nacho Cheese, and Cool Ranch, plus Cheeto Puffs, Flamin' Hots, as well, hitting stores next month.
Don't mess with that Cool Ranch. That's where it's at.
Hot Cheetos.
That was good, too.
Flamin'.
All right, outside, we've got cloudy skies this morning, maybe a little bit of fog starting to develop. Here's the good news. We do have some rain chances on the way. We're just going to have to wait for a while. It looks like right now the best rain chances will come late next week. We'll show you that forecast coming up.
Thank you, Justin. Well, happening soon, San Antonio's Raul Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner is serving a record 29,000 meals this year. Find out how you can help make sure that no one goes hungry during this Thanksgiving season.
The median age for first-time home buyers has hit 40, way up from the 1980s. With home prices skyrocketing, we'll show you what that means for the American dream and how some programs can help you buy your first home.
All right, if you're stepping out the door right now, be prepared for maybe a little bit of fog this morning. Certainly some humid conditions. You don't need a coat this morning. And we've got some warm weather this week, and we're going to detail all of it for you. Plus, an update on your traffic situation coming up.
5:45, welcome back to GMSA. Well, for the first time ever, the median age of a first-time home buyer is going to be 40 years old. Now, back in the 1980s, first-time home buyers were basically in their late 20s, according to the National Association of Realtors. This week, President Donald Trump floated the idea of a 50-year mortgage. And while it's just an idea at this point, it's putting a spotlight on the housing affordability crisis. In today's Consumer Watch, we look at the rising home prices and the various programs offered to help first-time home buyers afford a home. The American dream of owning a home is becoming less of a reality for many prospective first home buyers as prices continue to rise. Last month, the median home sale price for an existing single-family home rose to more than $426,000. This is according to the National Association of Realtors. And despite those high prices, many people still say that they want to own a home.
That demand is there.
Jason Waugh is the president of Coldwell Banker Affiliates. Coldwell Banker recently conducted a survey and found that 85% of those polled said that they believe home ownership is still part of the American dream for most Americans, but many aspiring buyers worry about affording one.
More than 7 in 10 aspiring homeowners are delaying major moments in life, whether that is marriage, children, changing jobs or a profession, until they can buy a home.
Putting 20% down has become the standard for many 30-year fixed-rate mortgages. So if you're putting 20% down on what the NAR says is the median home sale price for a single-family home, that would mean having more than $85,000 in cash. To put that in perspective, that's nearly the same amount as the median household income last year, according to the U.S. Census.
Certainly, affordability and inventory are issues that we have to solve for.
There are some banks that allow qualifying first-time buyers to put down as little as 3% of your total mortgage. Check if you qualify for a government-backed mortgage like an FHA that could let you put down 3.5%. All right, and if you're a veteran, the Department of Veterans Affairs offers some programs that also allow you to put down 0%. There are state and local grants that you can apply for as well. All right, we're talking about Thanksgiving, obviously around the corner, and we have got a tradition right here. San Antonio's Raul Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner. This is a longtime holiday tradition right here in the Alamo City, gearing up to serve a record crowd. 29,000 meals this year alone. That is up from 25,000 thanks to an increased need and economic challenges.
This event is a heartwarming example of community care and holiday spirit in action, and they could use your help. So KSAT Community is hosting a live phone bank on November 17th. That's when you can call in and make a donation to support this important mission. If you want to help to make sure no one goes hungry this holiday season, this is a great time to give back. We've got more information on ksatcommunity.com. And happening today, Spay Neuter Network is having a free vaccine clinic for San Antonio pet owners from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 210 Tuleta Drive. The first 100 pets each day will receive free vaccines, including rabies and other important shots for dogs and cats. Plus, pets can get a free microchip and low-cost nail trims. Heartworm and flea and tick preventatives will be available for purchase. Remember to arrive early as space is limited.
Okay, San Antonio seniors looking for something to do, something fun to do. Listen up. Happening today, District 1, their office is hosting its 3rd annual Senior Turkey Dinner from 4 to 7 p.m. at St. Anne's Catholic Church. Seniors can enjoy a free holiday meal, live performances, and also take photos at a photo booth. There will also be door prizes for some of the folks in attendance.
So you can have a pre-Thanksgiving meal.
Can't have enough turkey.
No, you can't.
Yeah, until you get sick of it after the day after.
That doesn't ever really happen, though.
It doesn't feel like Thanksgiving.
No, it doesn't. And, maybe as we drift towards Thanksgiving, we'll get some cooler weather, but it's certainly not anywhere in the 7-day forecast. Let's take a look at the fog situation because we want to continue to keep you updated there. And, yesterday never really came about, but we're starting to see maybe a little bit more this morning. I'm noticing that New Braunfels, the visibility there has dropped to a mile. We're seeing that around Pleasanton. So it's kind of all around San Antonio, but we're just not seeing it inside the city just yet. We'll see. Temperatures certainly could drift a little bit closer to that dew point. And if that's the case, we may see some patchy fog. And we'll certainly let you know. Outside right now, we've just got low clouds, but visibility is good here at the airport. 66 degrees at the airport and at Converse. 62 right now in New Braunfels. And that temperature just a little bit lower there, probably closer to the dew point, and humidity is at 100%, which is why we're likely seeing some fog there. Bernie 63, Stinson also at 63. Forecast for today, we start off in the mid 60s, yes, but it'll warm quickly by noontime, 80. And by the afternoon, 85. I would say these are fairly unusual temperatures for November. These are running 10 to 15 degrees above average. And you look at the country, it's not just us. I'm going to fast forward to tomorrow. Look how many places, anything here in yellow and red and orange, that is above average. So it's not just us. Really, it's the entire United States, almost the entire United States, that is running above average at this point. Sunday too, but you start to see some cooler temperatures come in around the West Coast. Here in Texas, though, still 10 to 20 degrees above average over the weekend. And that area kind of shrinks a little bit, but even going into next week up and down the plains, it will be warm, with Texas being kind of the epicenter of that warmth. All right, what comes our way as we get into next week? One storm system moves to our north, not a factor in our forecast, but it's this next one that drifts in by Wednesday into Thursday. Best odds will be Wednesday afternoon through Friday morning. Storms possible, but know this is subject to change. This is another one of those cutoff lows. It will be tricky to forecast, but we think right now that late next week presents our best next chance for rain and hopefully some cooler temperatures too. Very quickly, I want to go through a few of Saturday's games. UTSA is at Charlotte. Temperatures will be in the 60s here. Partly cloudy skies. Should be good weather for that. South Carolina visits A&M Kyle Field tomorrow at 11 o'clock. 80s. Warm by November standards for football. UCF goes to Lubbock. Really warm there. In fact, temperatures could be near 90 for that game. And Texas, of course, travels to Athens. What a game that's going to be. Under the lights there, between the hedges, 70s for temperatures there, but all games should be rain-free. All right, extended forecast here. Lots of heat going into next week, and then rain chances seep into the forecast Wednesday into Thursday, and temperatures should start to come down as well. Our Just Ask Justin question this morning has to do with intelligent animals, because coming up, we're going to be talking about pigs. They're very smart. But the votes are kind of varied here. So which of the following animals is generally considered most intelligent? Parrots, elephants, dolphins, or great apes? We've had some spirited debate about this here at the anchor desk, but we'll talk about the answer coming up here in an hour.
I need your sources. Where did you get this list? There's lots
Reveal
of...
your source.
I went out and interviewed all these animals.
Oh, did you?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Extensive research. Thank you, Justin.
All right, that's impressive stuff. Okay, yes, make sure to go to that poll to check that out. To give us a look here at the fog situation, a little bit of a developing situation out here. 37 at FM 3006. This is going to be in the city of Pleasanton. Good morning to all our folks there. You're going to be waking up and seeing some of this, especially on that highway, making your way through the far southern part of our viewing area right here over in the Pleasanton area. Again, 37. A little bit further up the road, this is going to be 37 at Dunnup over here by Bronick, and also 37 at 181 Old Corpus Christi Highway for all of our folks that are coming in from the Floresville area. So we will continue to track the latest out there. One bit of good news, no accidents right now across the city of San Antonio. But as Justin mentioned, you know, we have got a busy sports weekend. Who does not love November? We got football, we got some hoops, and we got the Spurs back on the court tonight, taking on the Golden State Warriors. It's going to be round 2. We need to get these guys back after Wednesday's game. This is an NBA Cup game starting later on tonight. 8:30 tip-off for the Spurs-Warriors game at the Frostbank Center, so we are expecting some heavy traffic around East Houston Street, Frostbank Center, and also North Walter Street. But this is not during mostly the rush hour period, during our afternoon, so hopefully you get out there safe. Go Spurs, go. We will be back in just a little bit.
This weekend is Frida Fest from noon to 6 p.m., a free family-friendly festival celebrating Frida Kahlo's legacy. The festival will be held at Maverick Plaza at the La Villita Historic Arts Village, featuring handcrafted artisan mercado and over 60 vendors, live performances, fashion show, art show, authentic Mexican cuisine, live cooking demonstrations, and a community altar to honor strong women.
Yes, just one of the many events taking place, and still ahead at GMSA at 6 o'clock. We're talking about text scams. They are on the rise, up 50% in just the last year. We're going to show you how to spot them and protect your money before it's too late.
Feral pigs. They're moving into the neighborhoods, digging up suburban yards and parks, causing damage and lots of headaches. We're going to tell you why and what can be done.